soft power. Lots of countries use culture to project their image around the world, but what if it's weaponized for geopolitical objectives?
I think that all the state support and sponsorship for the Russian culture is with this aim.
Kristina Sabaliauskalitė is a Lithuanian author and art historian.
A very brief one example, it would be Alexander Sokurov's film, The Russian Ark, which goes through the state hermitage with the director and with the invented European based on Marquis Astolphe de Coustan. And here, in a nutshell, you have all the complexes of inferiority of Russians, the vision of Russian spiritual superiority.
A vision spread throughout traditional and modern culture, says EPP Group's Rasa Juknevičienė.
They are using culture, history, everything, almost sports, as a tool for hybrid warfare and as a tool for so-called soft power. By the way, I don't like to say soft power because it's more like dirty power.
Celebrities like models and dancers are another vehicle for soft power.
World-renowned performers such as Anna Netrebko, as Sergei Polunin, who have huge international database, and they are involved in pushing the Russian state narrative.
They are using, yes, pop culture. For example, how we notice this? Before our main national events, like Independence Day, some Kremlin-based or Kremlin-related groups, very chauvinistic, they were organizing concerts in Lithuania and also singing chauvinistic songs like I was born in USSR.
It's in classical literature as well.
Dostoevsky's writer's diaries, a corpus of his texts, of his musings, and when he's trying to contemplate who is Russian, who's a Russian in the West and in the world, he's full of bravura and full of thoughts about the Russia's mission to save the world, to become the new empire,
which can serve the aims of Russian President Vladimir Putin.
Putin is constantly going back and trying to reinterpret and revision history and to rewrite it. And he's making completely unfounded verdicts on what is Ukraine or what is not Ukraine, and going backwards in time in Russian culture, trying to restore the former empire.
So, should people cancel or shun Russian culture?
And I am not among those who say that we have to cancel everything. No, not at all. But I think that Russian culture has to be as culture of other nations, be it British poet Byron and Russian poet Pushkin, but we have to know everything about them.
We shouldn't cancel Russian culture. On the contrary, we should read it, and we should read it in the context of the current events, trying to understand what this brutality and this aggression, where does it come from?
That is not to use it as a tool, not allow Russia, Kremlin, to use this culture as a tool to help them not to be investigated for their crimes and so on and so on. It's not the time for advertising for Russian culture, and it's not the time to advertise Kremlin policy.